college funding is a critical part of a truly comprehensive financial plan. So I'd like to spend some time going through the college funding timeline with you. This is going to be a video slide share so that it will always be accessible and always for free. So we will be moving fast. Just pause on screens that are relevant to you. This process has helped hundreds of families successfully navigate this maze of college funding. We want you to be able to help your student to graduate on time with smaller student loan debt without robbing your retirement. You can't really talk about college funding without knowing this timeline. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to have to make sure that we're hitting all of these targets. Your freshman, sophomore, and part of your junior year is a low stress time. That's the best time to start using free test prep sites like the Khan Academy. We also want to start finding out what your college budget is, right? Parental resources, student resources, or your grandparents going to help. We need to start finding that stuff out. And we need to start finding out what type of college is best for your situation and what you can actually afford. This is also a great time for aptitude, interest, personality, career testing. You want to get a great career for your kid that fits your kid. It's not about getting the degree. It's about creating the career that fits, that is going to make their life better. Whenever you do get to that senior year, see if you can use the Common App as much as possible to cut down your workload. The other thing you need to do at this time is start showing your kid how much work and time their loans can cost them after college. They make wiser decisions. It helps most kids to feel like they have some skin in the game, and they understand why there's a big monetary difference between these two schools. The websites, especially the FAFSA, they crash every year. I think it has crashed every single year for the last 5 years. So try not to get anxious about getting it done the first week. We do most of ours the second week. Unless you're specifically going for early action or an early decision, just try to get it done by November 1st. There's all kinds of financial myths, and there's a lot just about the FAFSA. I'm going to just clear those all the way for you right now. Even if you make $400,000 a year, you plan on going to a CSS profile or Ivy school, you don't want state or federal aid, and you fully intending paying cash for college, you should still fill out the FAFSA. It gives us more leverage later. Don't think that because you make $200,000, $300,000, or even $400,000 that you won't get any type of financial aid. It's simply a lot more complex than that. When you get to that time of your senior year and financial aid offers start coming in, they don't give you very much time to decide. So if you're not working with a college funding planner, preferably a CFP, please use a service like Tuition Fit. It's usually free. It's almost like some of the colleges are making the financial aid offers more confusing on purpose. They confuse actual grants versus loans versus work studies. And to get clear on this, you really want to see what other students and what other families have been offered. And that makes it a lot more effective way to compare these offers. Ideally, we would want you to start learning about college funding in freshman and sophomore year. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to learn, and you can't do it all in 1 year. You can't do it in your senior year. The hard thing, the thing that we're ultimately trying to do, is we're trying to find schools that fit in every way. If a college is 20% less, but it's a party school and it takes 6 years for your kid to get through it instead of 4, then it is a far more costly college, right? Getting the best total fit is how kids finish degrees and sometimes even sooner than on time, right? Where will your kid bloom? So academic fit, social fit, and financial fit, that's the minimum. We would have liked to done projections and find out your possible strategies in at least the junior year. What loans you're going to take, what order. We like to develop that overarching plan for all 4 years, especially for sophomores. We've already implemented most of those strategies for our clients before we get to senior year. But in May of senior year, this is late stage. It has to be done. It is not really a choice anymore. You've just got to figure it all out right then and there. And so you've got to make these decisions within a couple of weeks. Where's your optimal asset, income balances, tax strategies? What strategies do you have left in the time that you have? A thing that I'd like to talk about is parents that have had kids already go through college just get this intuitively. But when you just have a high school kid, you're thinking that you still have a child. And the truth is, most parents think of their student as a child longer than anyone else does. But even if you're paying for their healthcare at 25, that does not mean you'll be able to get the information you need when something happens. You're not automatically going to get contacted by the hospital, the school, the credit card company. And you don't necessarily have any legal medical rights whatsoever. So you could be locked out of decisions. I really think you should get a real ID. A real ID is usually better than a passport, but a passport will also work. The FERPA waiver will allow you to see your child's grades, the HIPAA form to access health information, the healthcare proxy and living will to be able to deal with those medical emergencies. And if you have a kid that's going overseas, there is a spendthrift, or that easily gets confused, a general durable power of attorney is a really good idea to be able to have that available so that when something happens, you can help your kid out. If I could only pick one book per year, just to minimize the amount you'd have to read, these are the books I would recommend. You need to know all 3 of your EFCs to understand how financial aid is going to work for you and your student. And you need to know how much colleges think you can afford to pay each year. How much will you be expected to pay out of pocket? Will your student qualify for grants, scholarships? With a free college money report, you can get a lot of great information on your top 3 colleges. This is something you can do for your kid in about 5 minutes. I've already prepaid for 400 families this year. So you can get a fully customized report, demystifies a lot of things for your students' college financial aid outlook, how much colleges think you can afford, if you will qualify for grants, what type of scholarships you might be able to get, how much will you be expected to pay out of pocket. Just go to the website, Black Swan CFP, and click on your free college money report. And we just wanted to remind everybody, besides being a full service financial planning family office, we also help people with college funding, college savings, student loan payment, and every aspect of education planning.